of course, really, really excited for this year's upcoming start over in Brest, especially given that Brest was where I first discovered the Tour de France back in 2008 as a neo-pro. So it's done full circle for me now, and back to Brest again. And I think in a funny kind of way, I'm heading to the Tour de France this year with a very similar mindset as back in 2008. I'm looking to gain something through racing the Tour de France. Obviously, hopefully it will be a stepping stone for me to get back to my former level of racing. So yeah, I'm really, really happy to be on the start line this year and to be putting my recovery process behind me now.
Obviously, you've been going to training camps with, for instance, Reto Hollenstein. You've been racing with Michael Woods before, and also with Omer Goldstein.
Yep.
How is it to be with all these riders again in one squad in the Tour de France? Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got a fantastic group of guys heading into the Tour this year. I think it's a team with different ambitions. We don't just have one goal in the team, but hopefully at the same time we can really look after Woodsy the best we can, especially through the first week, and then take counts and see where things go from there. Yeah, no, I mean, after 2 years away, I've certainly been missing it. And I mean, from a recovery point of view from the accident, I mean, that's been the motivator for me, is wanting to get back to the Tour de France, obviously. And yeah, so it's special to be able to do that now with Team Israel Startup Nation as well.
We are working on the background noise. I think it will be resolved in a little bit. Thanks for the feedback. Chris, another question. Did you ever doubt at some point that you would come back to the Tour de France?
Not necessarily doubt. I mean, I think from the moment that it was made clear to me that I could make a full recovery, there was nothing physically wrong with making stopping me from makeup. Then I knew I'd do, of course, everything in my power to do that. So yeah, I wouldn't say doubt has really been something that has been in my mind much. It's been more of a motivation.
Did you miss the Tour de France in those 2 years that you didn't race it?
Very much so. I mean, I of course I missed being there, but I mean the first year I watched it from a wheelchair. So I mean, it wasn't a feeling of I wish I could be there. It was actually a feeling at the time of almost enjoying being a cycling fan again. I mean, knowing all the characters in the Tour de France, knowing the politics, the ins and outs of the sport as well. I thoroughly enjoyed just watching and being a fan as well.
And then obviously you're now a little bit more in a supportive role for Michael Woods. The question from Samuel is it humbling to be back in a supporting role?
I think it's certainly for me, it feels great to be able to give back now in a very different way to the team. I mean, typically going into Tour de France, I've obviously got a lot of pressure on my shoulders as a GC contender, but that's not the case this time round. This time round, I'm going into the race. I'm only focused on the guys around me and trying to do the best job possible to support the guys around me. So it's and for almost the last decade now, I've been going into the Tour de France with a team that are doing similar jobs for me. So I mean, it feels great to be able to be on the other side now and give back a little bit.